lots of firepower. We've all seen the TV series recently.
So then everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, kindly click that like button and subscribe as to support independent filmmakers like myself to bring you the content you love and enjoy. So today is Tuesday, the 14th of July, and today is the start of the USK Green Living Military Living Show. Now, to begin the series, I'm going to be releasing everything that happened in the arena. So this is part one of everything that happened in the arena. As the series develops, you'll see everything else that happens in the arena, as well as a walkthrough around the site. But I thought I'd kickstart it in the best way possible. So without further ado, everybody, let's roll the video.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Green Machines 2026. This is our second show at the site. We do a show down at Caldicot. We did that for 7 years and gave it a break. So we've moved back up to this new venue. It's our second year. So what we try and do is basically put on display everything you see here today is privately owned, privately maintained, looked after and abused. What we'd like to do is see things moving. So what we can try and do various times in the day is just give you an insight and actually see some of these vehicles moving. So what we're going to do first is bring them in, and what we've got is World War II lightweight vehicles today, I think.
Yeah.
They're going to be mostly Jeeps. So if you like Jeeps, you're going to see a lot of Jeeps. So everything coming in here is Jeeps so far. Now the World War II, the Americans designed this little vehicle. They started in 1941 and various designs came up with what you can see today. Now the company Willis started to make them first, and when the Americans came into the war full, when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, they had to ramp up production, so the small company of Willis couldn't. Willis Overland couldn't supply the Jeeps the army wanted, so they went to the Ford Motor Company. So Ford started making them. So during the war, Ford made 250,000 Jeeps, and the company Willis made 350,000 Jeeps. So by the end of the war, we had about 650,000 Jeeps made. All parts on them are interchangeable, and they've survived this far. I mean, they're great vehicles to own because you can get the parts for them. You can keep them in your home garage, and they're quite fun. So we've got a few motorcycles in the arena. I'll talk about them next. We've got quite a few today. So starting with the one with the sidecar, the German Army combination. Now this is based on the 1936 design BMW R71. Now the German Army employed sidecars because, as you can see, there's 3 people on it. And they used to use the motorcycles to train their tank crews. So all the tactics, everything they did on the motorcycle transferred into the tank crews. So when these guys received their tank, they were already trained. But the German Army used the motorcycle combination for lots of things, lots of reconnaissance, especially when they invaded Poland and Russia. As you can see, it's mounted with a machine gun, and they're very fast, very maneuverable, and they could go into action quickly as an infantry unit. So the German Army used an awful lot of those motorcycles with sidecars. Behind that motorcycle, you've got another German vehicle, the Type 82 Kubelwagen. Now, you could make, for every German motorcycle combination, you could make about 3 of those Kubelwagen. And they had a crew of 4. They could carry more kit, They could obviously put a roof on the vehicle as well. Again, a very useful vehicle, made by Volkswagen. It was basically based on the pre-war Beetle. They just kept making the Beetle chassis, altered it a bit, and put a different body on it. And it's called the Kugelwagen, translates as bucket car. So basically it's like a bucket and you just throw things inside it. Right, motorcycles. The lady passing me now in the middle, the lady rider, there she is. She's driving a 1940, I think it's a 1942 matchless 3GL. It was the favoured bike of the British dispatch rider because it was quite fast, about up to 70 miles an hour. What? There goes Steve on the nice and shiny green Velocette. That's a very rare bike. Velocette made 500 of those, and there's only about 2 or 3 known in existence now. So very rare Velocette. So there's Steve with his white socks on the Velocette. It's a very nice bike. Go and have a look at that. And we've got a couple of other bikes. Here comes Rob with his flappy hat on. So he's riding in a BSA 3 of those Kugelwagen. And they had a crew of 4. They could carry more kit. They could obviously put a roof on the vehicle as well. Again, a very useful vehicle, made by Volkswagen. It was basically based on the pre-war Beetle. They just kept making the Beetle chassis, altered it a bit, and put a different body on it. And it's called the Kugelwagen, translates as bucket car. So basically it's like a bucket and you just throw things inside it. Right, motorcycles. The lady passing me now in the middle, the lady rider, there she is. She's driving a 1940, I think it's a 1942 matchless 3GL. It was the favoured bike of the British dispatch rider because it was quite fast, about up to 70 miles an hour. What? There goes Steve on the nice and shiny green Velocette. That's a very rare bike. Velocette made 500 of those, and there's only about 2 or 3 known in existence now. So very rare Velocette. So there's Steve with his white socks on the Velocette. It's a very nice bike. Go and have a look at that. And we've got a couple of other bikes. Here comes Rob with his flappy hat on. So he's riding in a BSA M20. So the M20 was the most prolific bike the British used in World War II. They made about 120,000 of those. And initially the British Army didn't want them. They tested it and said no, too slow, too heavy, not very good on the fuel. But the war came along, and it ended up being the most versatile bike they had. Desert campaign, Italy, Normandy. We got a modern bike there. There's the guy in the grey t-shirt. That's a French Army Cagiva. I don't know much about that. All I know is it was quite recently in service. Hasn't been released that long. Oh yeah, the SES Jeep. I didn't see that with all the dust. It's camouflaged. yeah, Colin's there driving it with his scarf around his face. Now that's a very good representation of the SAS Jeep that they used in North Africa, fitted with twin Vickers machine guns. So Colin, a very good display at the bottom there, with the SAS in the desert. It actually looks quite good with the dust. But yeah, twin Vickers machine guns plus an extra one. So basically for desert raiding. Lots of firepower. We've all seen the TV series recently. The Jeep with the trailer. The trailer is actually designed to be a little boat. So you can basically put it in the river and it'll float. I miss the German armed car. But we'll see the German armored car later in the battle sequence. He's riding on his mattress there, giving it some beans. Oh, there we go. Nice to see a bit of movement, see these things actually running and moving, creating some dust, which you can all take the dust home with you. So I think in about half an hour we're doing, getting some of the big armour in, some track stuff, create even more dust. So we'll see you in half an hour back at the arena. In the meantime, I don't know when they're starting, but there's a singing group at the other end down at the stage, so go and support them and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to bring the next arena event forward 15 minutes. So in about 5 minutes time we're going to bring in some of the larger medium vehicles. So you can have a look at some of those running around the arena.
Yeah, but it's just the best part being at the arena. Look, if it goes earlier, I'm already here.
Okay, let's bring some of these medium vehicles in.
I don't know where it's firepower display now. After it's called gas station.
And as soon as we've done this little run around, we're going to try and fire a 12 o'clock mortar, just a single shot, just to announce 12 o'clock noon. So the first vehicle into the arena, we've got a 1942 Dodge WC52 ambulance.
Can't do both.
I always get the numbers wrong. It's probably not a 52.
Hold it for me.
A 54. I always get it wrong. I was going to interview Nigel then, but the look of horror on his face. So yeah, 1942 WC54 ambulance. These will carry 4 casualties on stretchers. This particular Dodge ambulance was found up in Peter Church about maybe 6 years ago. It had been obviously with the American Army. It had come over to France fought through France into Germany, and it stayed in Germany for many years after. It was rebuilt by a German company for the Americans. So it was rebuilt in the 50s. I think it was rebuilt by Mercedes or BMW, one of those two. And then it was sold to the Norwegians, so it was served with the Norwegian for many years. Many years. Then it was imported into the UK in the 90s. Ended up in private hands. I think it's about 5 years ago, Nigel and a few others acquired it and restored it into that condition. Next up, yeah, the American used these numbers: WC 54, 56, 58, 52, 58, 52. I never get them right. Apparently that's a 57. So WC 57. And it's another Dodge. It's called a command car. So basically it's like a Jeep on steroids. And it was an officer's car to command his troops out in the field. So on the back seats you've got these fold down map tables and room for lots of radio equipment. I think Tim's taking the safer option and driving on the grass and not creating lots of dust. He's a farmer, you see, he knows what to do. Whereas Nigel was a builder. He doesn't mind making dust. Not too bad, they're going quite slow today. British vehicles, so this is the only one in the world. There might be another one in the bush somewhere, but no one buries it.
Like the ambulance. Oh yeah.
Everyone always asks the same question, so I always talk about this. Is what sort of fuel consumption are on these things? I think they're all 6 or 8 cylinder flat head engines. And they're not economic, put it that way. I think the Dodge, they may get 10 or 12 to the gallon out of it. The Dodge ambulance, I know that does about 8 to 10 miles per gallon.
That's it now.
They get 10 or 12 to the gallon out of it. The Dodge ambulance, I know that does about 8 to 10 miles per gallon.
That's it now.
There you go, the British win the race. 6 miles per gallon for the Morris.
I want to see how much the hell it is.
You haven't got the money.
I want to see how much.
Go on then, go on.
So you can imagine what the bigger stuff's going to consume later.
What's this?
Rowan, stand by your as well.
Bam, if that's the only one left in the room, man, isn't
On a back with evacuation.
I thought we were going to have a few more in, but they obviously didn't get the message. Wait until we get the bigger stuff on. So next we got another ambulance. This is a British ambulance made by Morris, company Morris. It's got quite a short bonnet on the front, which is basically they nickname it a snub nose Morris.
Straight. That's
It's got a standard body on the back. The Austin Motor Company version, exactly the same. It's a wood panelled with a canvas covering. You can take it all apart for shipping.
I'll put it in the bin, right?
I think the American ambulance, like I said, takes 4 stretcher casualties. I think the British ambulance, the Morris, they can take up to 6. Now that's an interesting vehicle because it's quite rare. Well, it is rare because it's the only one in the world. It's the sort of medium weight, the small truck category. Most of that early war British stuff was obviously lost at Dunkirk and in the early days of North Africa. So not a lot of these early British vehicles are used. So this is the only one in the world. Truck category. With all these vehicles, they're 80 plus years old now. And they're all running perfectly. Costing the owners lots of money.
I could have never imagined going here. I love it.
Got a hold? Got a hold?
I can't wait for the tanks to go on though, bang.
That's that typical American siren.
Is that your favourite? Is that your favourite?
There you go. So okay, I think I'm going to drop 12 o'clock now. Give me a countdown. It's 12. I'm going to just drop a mortar. They gave me the job today. Give me a countdown to 12.
Okay, we're going to look for a countdown till 12 o'clock, which I think we are pretty much there actually, so here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fast!
So come back for the battle at, I can't remember what time it is, about 2:30, and there'll be an awful lot more of that. Tune from the Germans, and they're going to try and find and engage the Americans as they're coming off the beach. It advanced, so they were no longer needed as a lightweight